Hello lovely people. With spring fair season coming up, I've got a super little stash busting pattern for you to download this month. We all have to carry tissues and I hate the way they get all manky in our bag, so this is a cute little pocket to keep them in, to keep them all neat, and it'll get through all your supplies. Let's have a look.
Down a little alley in the heart of Kendal town is a tiny independent yarn shop. Welcome to the wonderful world of the kitten and the goat.
This is a wonderfully simple little pattern. I must have made dozens of these in my time. The whole thing is, it's a brilliant little stash buster. So I've just grabbed a couple of double knitting yarns off the shelf. As we know, 2 strands of double knitting together makes a chunky weight. So we've doubled it up to make our chunky weight. See, this is why it's so versatile, because you can use it in chunky, you can use it in 2 strands double knitting, you can mix the two. We've cast on, we've done a bit of a rib band. We're going to make a very, very simple buttonhole so that when we do it up, our little tissues inside don't fall out. So the pattern says knit 1, purl 1 for 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Gosh, it is cold in here today. It is really chilly. 4, 5, 6. Slip 1 stitch. Now look at the next stitch. What sort of stitch is it? It's a knit stitch. If it doesn't say, it almost always is a knit stitch unless you're working a row of purl. So slip 1 stitch, knit 2 stitches together. That is those 2. Pick up the slip stitch, bring it over the 2 together, and that is going to give you a little gap in between those 2 stitches. Then we purl 1 and we knit 1 to the end of the row. Now on the next row we're going to put the stitches back here to fill the gap in. So let me finish and get to here, and then we'll show you what we do. Right, we've worked back along 18 stitches and we've come to the place where we got rid of the stitches in the row before. Now we got rid of 2 stitches because we knitted 2 together. That was 1 stitch, and then we slipped the stitch it's over, so that was another stitch. So we've got to replace 2 stitches. So wrap the yarn around, keep it fairly tight, and knit. That's going to replace the 2 stitches. Could you turn the work around and cast on 2 stitches at the beginning of the row? Yes, you could. If you find that easier, do that. It makes a bigger buttonhole, and we don't really want to have a great big buttonhole unless we've got a great big button that we're going to be able to fill it, because otherwise it's just going to keep coming undone. So working back along our line, we're going to have to be a little bit careful where we work those stitches that we've just created. Oh, another one. somewhere here. Here we go, after this one. So we're going to knit. Personally, I like to knit into the back of the stitch. It just twists it and helps it keep it thing. So you knit. You can turn that one round. Purl. That replaces them. There's your knit. There's your purl. And you're off again, following the pattern. And there's your little buttonhole. See, it's not too big. Not too big. Get a decent sized button through that and it'll stay neat like that. Next thing I'll show you is how to knit the fisherman's rib style. I've worked the other side of the buttonhole, give you a nice little border, but you see how much more discreet that little buttonhole is rather than casting on two above it. Now we're going to be starting the pattern. This is from a series of patterns called Fisherman's Rib. Fisherman's Rib isn't one thing exactly like I can say do a knit stitch and it's a knit stitch. It's a group of patterns where you put the needle in slightly different places to get slightly different effects. It's basically a really thick rib that was used on fishermen's jumpers to make them, to bulk them out and keep them warm. So it's this, the way we do this, it's very, very simple. We're going to do a knit because it's on the edge, and we're going to do a purl because we're going to purl every purl. Now, we're going to start bulking it up by putting our point of the needle in the stitch below where we would normally work. We normally would go in there. We're going in down there. The purls in this version are just normal. So down and purl. Give it a little tug. Just pull it a little bit instead of, normally you would just put in and slide. Just give it a little tension there so you can see where you're going to put the point of the needle. And down in there. Now this is a 2-row colour change. Of course you don't have to do the stripes if you don't want to. You could do a 3-row chain, 3-row stripe, you could do blocks of stripes, you can do whatever you like. It's this bit that's creating the different texture for you. So I'm going to show you how we're going to change yarns, because a lot of people worry about that, but that's very simple too. The second row is worked exactly the same as the first row. Make sure you knit the end stitches so that it keeps it nice and straight for you to sew up at the end. I'm going to finish this and then we're going to do a colour change. So we finished that row and I've worked back again, and you can see where the pattern starts to puff out. You see it makes it thicker, very, very soft and subtle. So this is a 2-row colour change. So we're going to change colour now for the next row, and literally all you do is you start your next colour off, knit stitch on the end, hang on to the tail at the back there with your fingers so that you don't just pull it straight through the loop, and then purl, and you're carrying on with your knit below, which is knit below. Don't cut this yarn because you're going to need it. You're going to go, you will notice the stitches are a little bit different. I'll just point this out. That's where you've knitted into the stitch below and you've got 2 stitches. Just purl it as you do normal. Okay, and then we're down below and we're normal. You're going to go to the end and back again till you come to here. Now don't cut this off, as I say, because when you get back to here with this colour, what you're going to do is take that up there and start working with it. And when you come back to here, you're going to put that one down, you're going to put this one up, and you're going to start working with it. You will have a tail here from where you've joined in this. I would tie a single knot in it and then I would finish it off with a needle, just tuck it away safely out of sight. So you just keep going with your pattern like that to create your fancy stitches. If all this is new to you and you just fancy picking up a quick and easy all-in-one kit, these are the colours I'm going to put in the kit. It's a chunky with merino, which is super soft and a little bit special. You will get a ball of each colour, so you can work it in each other colourway, it's up to you. I'll put in 4 buttons and 4 of those tissue packs to get you going. So that'll be on the website soon. This little video is brought to you as part of our virtual knitting circle. If you join our email list, every month you will get a free knitting pattern pop through your email box. And that's it. You don't have to do any further action. You get a free pattern. I also upload on YouTube a little walkthrough of the pattern, various little tweaks, twiddles and things you might need to know to make it easier for you. And a fortnight later, you get a technique video, usually builds on what we've just made, or it might be I discuss a design feature or something like that, just to build your knowledge bank and help you. If you want to go on and buy the kit, that's fantastic. It's all on the website. We have a website. If you want to buy yarns and wools from us, we'd be exceedingly grateful. We are a tiny little independent knitting shop doing the best to help you knit. See you soon.